So maybe it's not people, maybe it's just me. Yeah, so let me just say me, so I feel like I'm putting that on anybody. Yeah, I wonder sometimes, like, man, it's like I don't know if what I want to say is right. Like it feels right, but I don't know, And so then I get scared to speak up. And I just wonder if I think having some, knowing when to kind of hold them, know when to fold them, know when, or not that, let's walk away, but know when to say something, know when not to say something is important. But yeah, I think I've been thinking a lot about that, like having a voice, like what does it mean to have a voice and, and to be able to share and to speak up and to, and when do you do that? I think that's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, personally. I did a 72-hour fast, 73 hours I made it to, which was pretty cool. It's kind of scary, but it wasn't that scary. I felt good about it. I'm glad that I did it. Battled a bit with dehydration, chewed some gum that didn't have anything in it, basically, to make me feel like I was having something sometimes, and then I would put salt on my hand and lick it and just drink some water with it. What else? What else is happening? Let's get into some calls. There's a lot that's going on in the world right now. We'll get into some of that. They're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to get us into a war with Iran or not, America, if Israel is trying to. I don't trust the Israel leader at all. I don't believe anything that guy says. And I don't think that our soldiers should have to go and defend stuff that they start. I'm not a soldier, so I'm obviously speaking out of turn. I'm not even brave enough to serve, so there's that element. But that is kind of how I feel, I guess. And so it's like, yeah, when do I speak? When do I say that? Because it feels like they're trying to push Trump to go do that, and it's like, who makes that choice? Does he make that choice? And then what do we get? What's the win for us? We're just involved in some other thing while we have suffering here at home. So maybe something like that is like, yeah, should I even speak up? Because I'm not in service. Servicemen and women may be like, we'll do, and that's their commitment and their job. But yeah, I don't know. That guy really scares me. And I don't know why we support them. I don't understand that. I wish they would really give us a better explanation, especially after the massacres in Gaza. I don't understand. I do not understand that. And some people say, well, you don't know enough about it. It may not. But it's like, can I still speak about it? Can I speak about how I feel about it? Moments like that, like when do I need to speak up? And share just for myself, right? And not even try to, I don't think this is virtue signaling. I don't know exactly what that is. I was talking with my producer about it today. But I think I'm talking about a voice for like, when do I speak up for myself? Let's take some calls here that came in. You guys had calls about some interesting stuff, and we'll get into it.
Hey, Theo. I was calling to say thank you for your support of the Palestinian people. I know I sound like lib, snowflake, whatever the fuck those guys think of people who support the Palestinians, but
I don't think that. I don't think somebody's supporting what appears to be like a massacre of a lot of children. I don't see it. I'm shocked that there aren't more voices sometimes speaking up, but that's also coming from a place where, I can take care of myself, I know, and feed myself and roof myself for the rest of my life. And so other people's lives are different. And so, yeah, I can be surprised by that, but I can also totally understand that for sure. Onward.
Hearing you today on the podcast with JD Vance speaking up for those people who have no voice is like, I think I ovulated while I was listening to the pod.
Whoa, dang it. Easter came early right there. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate you sharing what you thought. And yeah, I don't think it's like a choice to try and speak up about Gaza and about Palestine. I think for me, it just feels like there's not, it's not even a choice. It's just like, how can you watch this? It's like, am I insane? I'm sorry that it took me so long to say something. To be very honest, I was afraid, I think I was afraid. I think it's just like trying to connect your instinct to your voice sometimes. I think that's always been something that's been a little bit tough for me. But I didn't think that I did a good job, to be honest with you, on the Vance interview. I had follow-up questions about certain parts of it, right? I had follow-up questions about, the surveillance state and the genocide and what else? Oh, the money that we give Israel. Like, I had follow-up questions about these things. I don't know. I don't know if I got like afraid or I don't know. And I think part of me gets stuck in this space where it's like, well, this is a comedy podcast. But then a lot of like life starts to get mixed into it. And then it's like, well, what do people want? And so that probably has something to do with it. I think the last time that JD came on, and I was very grateful for him. I like JD. I was very grateful that he came on. We'd known like a month in advance that he was coming. But last time he was like campaigning, right? It was just him and his cousin in the room, and it felt a little bit less pressure. This didn't feel like a ton of pressure, but it was, he had like his campaign team and stuff, and there's Secret Service there. And they can kind of wrap up the interview whenever. I think that fear was in my head. Like maybe, well, if I say the wrong thing, are they just going to kind of shut down the interview? I'm not saying that was true at all. I'm just saying that was something that was probably in my head. And then you realize that there's a level of kind of diplomacy, What is diplomacy? Let me look it up. Okay. Of or concerning the profession, activity, or skill of managing relations. It says international relations, but I just think relations, right? Like, I was like, oh, well, if I ask too much, will they not want to come back again? Will I lose the bridge to be able to communicate with him, right? For me, that was something. So I'm just trying to manage it, because you start to realize like in politics that there's a level of give and take with all those meetings they go into and all the votes and they're all like behind the scenes, like trading this option for, okay, well, I'll help support you here if you can help support me. There's just so much of that. It's very much that Game of Thrones type of energy. But yeah, but I wish I'd spoken up a little bit. I felt like Mr. Vance gave more political answers this time. So it felt different. I don't think I was as prepared for that. I think sometimes it seemed like, I don't know if he answered exactly what I was asking, but it's my job to like fine tune the question or make sure that I at least get my question very clear. So there was a lot of that, all those things kind of happening at once, I guess. And then also you're like, well, people can make their choices about things, right? So sometimes if you just have a conversation with people, they'll derive from it when they hear the person speak. They might be like, oh, okay, I believe this person, or I don't believe this person, or I empathize, or I sympathize, or I understand this person, or wow, I'm surprised by that person, right? Or people. So sometimes I think that's kind of what a podcast is a lot of times, as opposed to like an interview. It's just a space where people talk and then people can devise their own thoughts about the conversation. And I'm not trying to take any skin off of my own neck as being an interviewer. But then it's like, well, is this an interview or is it a podcast? So there's just like